The galaxy had known peace for 10,000 years. The Galactic Council ruled over 300 species across millions of star systems. Their power was absolute. Their technology was beyond imagination. They believed themselves to be the masters of creation itself. Commander stood on the bridge of his warship, the Eternal Dominion. His scaled skin glowed under the dim lights of the command center. Around him, officers from a dozen different species worked at their stations. They were preparing for what they called the final subjugation. "The human is within range," announced his tactical officer, a being with 4 arms and eyes that saw in every direction. "Their defenses appear primitive, simple orbital stations, basic weapons. This will be easy." Smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. "The elders were wrong to fear these creatures. Look at them. They have been in space for only 300 years. We have conquered races far more advanced." Behind him, an ancient hologram flickered to life. It was a recorded message from the Council of Elders, played automatically whenever a fleet approached human space. The figure in the hologram was old beyond measure, its form barely visible through the distortion of time. "To any commander who receives this message," the elder spoke, "turn back. Do not engage the humans. Do not threaten them. Do not give them reason to fight. They are not like other species. They carry something within them that we do not understand, something dangerous. We have watched them from afar. We have seen what they do to those who corner them. Please, for the sake of our civilization, leave them alone." Waved his hand through the hologram, ending the message. "Superstition from old fools. The elders have grown weak and afraid. That is why the new council sent us. We will show them that humans are nothing special." His fleet consisted of 500 warships. Each one was capable of destroying a planet. They had crushed rebellions across the galaxy. They had ended civilizations that refused to submit. The humans, with their small territory of just 40 star systems, would fall within days. What did not know was that humanity had been watching them too. For 300 years, humans had explored the galaxy quietly. They had seen the Council's true nature. They had witnessed the enslaved species, the destroyed worlds, the cultures erased from existence. And they had been preparing. Deep beneath the surface of Earth, in a bunker that stretched for hundreds of kilometers, General Sarah studied the incoming fleet on her display. Her hair was gray, her face lined with age, but her eyes were sharp as razors. She had spent her entire life preparing for this moment. "500 ships," she said calmly. "They really think that will be enough." Around her, military officers from every nation on Earth worked together. Old conflicts had been forgotten long ago, when humanity discovered they were not alone, and that the galaxy was ruled by those who would enslave them. They had united like never before. "Should we attempt contact?" asked Admiral, her second in command. "Perhaps we can negotiate." General shook her head. "I have studied the Council for 60 years. There is no negotiation with them. You either submit or you die. They have given us no choice." She pressed a button on her console. Across human space, a signal went out. It reached every colony, every station, every ship. It was a single word that every human had hoped they would never hear, yet had trained their entire lives to answer. "Prometheus." The galaxy was about to learn why the elders had warned them about humanity. Expected the human fleet to meet him in open space. That was how civilized species fought wars, ship against ship, fleet against fleet. Instead, his sensors detected nothing. The human colonies appeared undefended. Their orbital stations had powered down. "They are surrendering," laughed his weapons officer. "They know they cannot win." "Move the fleet to the 3rd planet," ordered. "We will begin the occupation." As his ships approached Earth, they passed through what appeared to be empty space. Just dust and debris floating between the stars. Normal, unremarkable. Then the dust began to move. What sensors had classified as space debris were actually millions of tiny machines. They had been floating in the void for decades, dormant, waiting. Now they awakened. They attached themselves to the hulls of his warships. They crawled into engines and weapon systems. They dissolved through armor that had never been breached. "Commander, we are under attack," screamed his officer. "Something is eating through our hull." Within minutes, 20 of his ships had gone dark. Their crews were still alive inside, but they were trapped. The machines had disabled everything. Life support would last for days, but they could not move, could not communicate, could not fight. Watched in horror as his proud fleet was reduced to floating coffins. "What is this? How is this possible?" His answer came in the form of ships appearing from nowhere. They had been hidden within asteroids, buried on moons, disguised as comets. Not 500 ships, but 50,000. They were smaller than his warships, faster, designed for exactly this kind of fight. "This is General of the United Earth Fleet," a voice crackled through his communications. "You have entered human space with hostile intent. The elders warned you. You should have listened." The battle lasted 3 hours. It was not really a battle. It was a lesson. Human weapons did not simply destroy ships. They targeted specific systems with precision that should have been impossible. Engines first, leaving the ship stranded. Then weapons, leaving them helpless. Finally, communications, leaving them isolated. When it was over, stood on a bridge without power, surrounded by officers who could not believe what had happened. They had conquered hundreds of species. They had never lost a war. Now their entire fleet was disabled, and not a single human had died. "Why did they not kill us?" whispered his tactical officer. The answer came when shuttles arrived from Earth. Human soldiers, wearing armor that seemed to adapt to any threat, boarded his ship. They were not cruel. They were not violent. They simply took control. General came to see him personally. She was smaller than he expected, fragile-looking. But when she spoke, he understood why the elders had been afraid. "Your council has enslaved 300 species," she said. "You have destroyed 40 civilizations that refused to bow. You came here expecting to add humanity to that list. You made a terrible mistake." "What will you do with us?" asked. "Kill us, make an example." General smiled, but there was no joy in it. "We are not like you. We do not believe in extinction. We believe in choice. Your crews will be given the chance to return home. They will tell the council what happened here. They will deliver our message." "What message?" "That humanity is coming. Not to conquer, not to enslave. We are coming to free every species your council has ever chained. We are coming to end your empire of cruelty. And we will not stop until every being in this galaxy has the freedom to choose their own destiny." Felt something he had never experienced in his 300 years of warfare. Fear, true fear, not of death but of something far worse. The understanding that he had awakened something that could not be stopped. "The elders," he whispered. "They knew. How did they know?" General sat down across from him. 50,000 years ago, the elders sent scouts to a primitive planet in a forgotten corner of the galaxy. They found a species of apes, barely intelligent, fighting each other with sticks and stones. They decided we were not worth conquering. Too primitive, too violent, too unpredictable. She leaned forward. "They were right to leave us alone, not because we were weak, but because of what we would become. You see, Commander, other species evolve slowly. They find their place in the universe and they stay there. Humans are different. We never stop. We never accept limits. We turn our weaknesses into strengths and our obstacles into opportunities." "You had 300 years of space travel," said. "We had 10,000. How did you do this?" "Because we knew you were coming," General replied. "We found the records of what your council does to new species. We saw the graves of civilizations, and we made a choice. We would not be victims. Every scientist, every engineer, every soldier on Earth spent those 300 years preparing for this day. While you grew comfortable with your power, we grew hungry. While you believed your empire would last forever, we built tools to tear it down." The news of the defeat spread across the galaxy faster than light itself. Enslaved species heard whispers of what the humans had done. For the first time in 10,000 years, they began to hope. On 100 worlds, rebellions sparked to life. The Council tried to crush them, but they were fighting on too many fronts. And humanity kept coming. They did not attack blindly. They did not seek destruction. Instead, they offered alliance. Every species that had been conquered was given a choice: fight with them or stay neutral. No one would be forced. No one would be enslaved. That was the human way. The Council of Elders watched their empire crumble from their fortress at the center of the galaxy. The new council, the ones who had ordered the attack on Earth, had been removed from power. The elders had returned, but it was too late. "We warned them," said the oldest elder, watching human ships approach their system. "For 10,000 years, we kept the peace by avoiding that one small region of space. All they had to do was listen." "What will the humans do to us?" asked another elder. "I do not know. They are unlike any species we have ever encountered. They are capable of terrible violence, yet they choose mercy. They could destroy us, yet they offer freedom. I do not understand them." The human ambassador who arrived was young, barely 30 years old. She came alone, unarmed, walking into a chamber filled with beings who had ruled the galaxy. "We do not want your empire," she said. "We do not want your throne. We want something you never considered offering anyone: choice, the freedom to live as they wish, the right to determine their own future." "You would dismantle everything we built," an elder responded. "Yes, because what you built was a prison. You told yourselves it was order, you called it peace, but it was built on the bones of those who had no voice. Humanity has heard their silence, and we have come to answer it." Within 50 years, the Galactic Council was replaced by a true federation. 300 species, once enslaved, now stood as equals. The old empire was gone, not destroyed by war, but transformed by an idea that the Council had never understood: that every being deserved to be free. The elders had warned the galaxy about humanity. They had called them dangerous, unpredictable, violent. They were right about all of it, but they had missed the most important truth. Humanity's greatest weapon was not their ships or their technology or their willingness to fight. It was their belief that tomorrow could be better than today. Their refusal to accept that the universe had to be cruel. Their stubborn, impossible hope that every creature, no matter how different, deserved a chance. The galaxy would never be the same. And in the end, even the elders had to admit that was not such a bad thing. Some lessons must be learned the hard way. The Council had learned theirs. Never provoke humanity, not because they will destroy you, but because they will make you free whether you want it or not.